All right, and we are live. Hello, guys and girls. Hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday today. It has been a while since I uploaded new content on Twitch and YouTube. So just want to update everyone with the latest news from Ez2ON Reboot R. So first, just gonna go through the agenda quickly. First off, we are going to talk about the Ez2ON Reboot R early access updates to the game client and the game servers. Secondly, we're going to talk about some of my opinion of the early access roadmap. Right, the roadmap is available on the Steam discussion forum, the Steam news, right, and also on Discord. So nothing fantastic there. So it's just my input to the roadmap. And last but not least, some updates to the stream that I'll be uploading in the future. So let's talk about the updates to the game. So a couple of things that I would like to share with everyone. If you're not aware, if you're not in the Discord channel, this is probably news to you. So first off, let's hit off with game support for Windows 7. So it has been confirmed that there's this new patch that rolled out in the late March or early April, so that people who are on Windows 7 will be able to play Ez2ON Reboot R, right? So this update, right, was known to not work for everybody, right? So some of the players, they have issues with Windows 7. So, and then the approach here is this. If the game client doesn't run for you, right, doesn't work for you after the update, you may want to cleanly uninstall the game from your PC. So what you can do is you can go to the Steam app common folders. So basically what you do is you go to the Steam platform, right click on Ez2ON Reboot R, and then you go to something what we call the browse local folder for the game. And what you can do is remove everything from that folder, right? And then you do a clean install over again. So that will actually help you, run the game if you have issues after the update. All right, so that's enough about, clean install. So number 3. So there were users who have feedback saying that they encounter frame drops when playing the game in full screen mode. So what happens is this. You should try to play the game on full screen without borders. So, window mode, right? Full screen window mode. So that's the way that I would say it. Because that was how the game was originally developed, and because they are trying to support full screen mode, so there may be issues where you encounter frame drops if your graphics card is not strong enough. Of course, I'm very fortunate. I have a RTX 3090, so that probably just power through the just somehow power through the frame drops. Right. So number 4, we have issues where your audio output device does not support the sound buffer size saved in the settings, right? So when that happens, the initial loading screen, you probably can't skip that, but this is, in my opinion, a trivial problem. So you can't skip the initial loading screen, so be it, right? So number 5, right, we have when you are trying to change the song key and the difficult key at the same time, there is a chance that the game image, the song image that you have selected, the image for that disc will appear to be from the previous song. So this is probably a user interface issue, which should be easily fixed by simply going back to the main menu and going back into the single player play mode. Number 6. So for people who have multiple monitors like me, irregardless of your Windows 10 or Windows 7 monitor graphics settings, when you launch the game will always use the 16:9 aspect ratio. And what that means is that if you're running 4K, that will be 3840 times 2160. If you're like me running on a 2K monitor, the game client will run at 2560 1440p, so on and so forth. You can read some of the screen resolution that I have pasted in the stream. Alright, so that only applies if you have multiple monitor and you run the game in a full screen mode or borderless full screen. Number 7. If the speed is adjusted during the gameplay, it will be initialized to 1.0. Personally, I do not encounter this issue. My game speed, even though I do adjust them during gameplay, they do not initialize back to 1.0. However, the speed settings is not saved sometimes, right? So to each his own. Still not a showstopper. You can always adjust the speed again. Right, so these are the issues that the development team are aware, and they're probably going to roll out more fixes, more updates in time to come. And last but not least, there was some maintenance that we scheduled, to correct some of these issues. More details will be released. Actually, the maintenance has already happened last week, I think. So hopefully, over time, the game development team will fix some of these known issues. Alright, so just give me a moment. I just realized I forget to launch the chat client. Alright. Now let's talk about the early access roadmap. First of all, I'm very happy to hear that the team has decided to, they managed to convince their stakeholders to postpone the deadline, right, for the closing of early access. So that's good news, because they definitely can use more time to adjust and make changes to the overall game mode, the high level strategy. And it has also been confirmed that the official release will be postponed, right? As to when exactly the full release will be available, that has not been made known to us yet, but it's a good direction. They are trying to stabilize the game and make it fantastic before the official launch. Secondly, we have additional contents during this early access. So since the early access schedule is going to be extended, right, in order to keep the players playing this game, they definitely have to release new content. And what we are going to see over the next few weeks, right, is we will see new songs, especially songs that were very popular in the Easy to AC series. I think one of them is Picking, and the other one is Daydream. So these two songs, if you've not heard them, right, go check them out on YouTube. Just search for Easy to AC or Easy to On, right, along with the song title. Both are fantastic music, right? A total of 20 songs will be made available throughout this early access period. So that is one thing that has been finalized, right? In addition, there will be a new DLC released in September. So in addition to 20 new songs, there will be an additional DLC. So definitely gonna keep the player base hyped up, right? And early access feels more like doesn't feel like early access anymore, right? At least in my opinion, it doesn't feel like early access. It feels more like a, product. It's more like a, how should we call it? Production? A prototype for production that is released in production. Right. So, some comments about the background animation, the BGAs. There are usage of generic BGA where it's just very simple animation running behind the song, right? So some of the players have feedback that we wanted better looking BGA. We shouldn't have generic BGA for songs. The team, right, wanted to let everybody knows that in terms of the visual aspect of the game, right, the BGA should not be the limiting factor for them to release new songs. So what this means is that whenever they want to release a new song, but for technical reason or intellectual property reason, they are not able to use the background animation, they will substitute right? They will use a generic or simple BGA, right? But they wanted to promise us that they will only do this only if they are not able to churn out good-looking BGAs, right? For that when applicable. So with that aspect, what are the challenges, right, for the team to implement good-looking or non-generic BGA? So to answer that question, we have to first understand the team's approach to remaster the background animation. So there is a slow and expensive way where they will, reuse all the graphics, touch up on them, making them high resolution, and then recreate the animation from scratch. So as you can imagine, this is going to be a slow and expensive approach. It's going to use a lot of time, and that actually translates to money. The second approach for them to do this is to use the fast and easy way. And how they're going to do this is they're going to feed the old background animation from the year 2000 until 2010. So that's like 2 decades old background animation. They're going to play that animation through HD quality monitor, and then they will screen record it instead. So that's definitely the not so, even though you record in HD, it's still not going to look as nice as the slow and expensive way. So currently there's about 50% of all the songs. So there's a total of 218 songs, and about 50% of them are already remastered using the expensive way. The remaining 100 more songs, right, they are currently available in the fast and easy way. And the team is going to try to convert everything into the high quality background animation as much as possible. But they do want to share with everyone that there are some technical constraints that make it impossible for them to work with the original graphics, right? So with that in mind, there will be a very small percentage, probably about 10%, right, of the remaining BGA that unfortunately has no choice. They have to go with the fast and easy way. So that is the challenge, right, with respect to remastering the BGAs. So, but then the team still wanted to make an emphasis on quality, right? So there is kind of like a promise, right? Promise from the development team to everyone that at least 95% or 95% plus will be using the slow and expensive way, right? And a very small minority on the cheap and fast way. Right, and overall, my conclusion to the early access roadmap is this. I think that the development team, the team in general, right, is they did a fantastic work, in terms of what they want to prioritize for the early access roadmap. Now, if you're on the Discord channel, you can imagine, right, different players from different community, the Korean community, the Japanese player community, and the English community. Everybody is throwing so many different feedbacks, features, bug fixes, so on and so forth. Everyone is like throwing different ideas at the team, and I think that they have done a fantastic job in among all that noise and all that traffic of content, right? They prioritize what needs to be done, right? They extended the early access. They didn't rush for a full release just to cash in the money, right? But they actually wanted to prioritize extending the release, and then in the meantime still keep the players entertained, right, by releasing new songs. So things like controller support, things like collaboration with some other music games definitely shouldn't be prioritized, right? They should prioritize the gameplay and release the minimum number of new songs to keep the traction going, right? And to do that, right, they must have the courage and the faith in the community to do that, right? If you are facing a large group of people who say that, hey, your early access is problematic, it sucks, right? I'm pretty sure the stakeholders wouldn't have the courage and faith to persist in whatever decision is made for the early access, right? They will want to say, oh, let's quickly wrap things up and release the game as it is, and that's gonna be bad, for both the company and the player base. So if you are watching my stream for whatever reason, I hope you find all this information useful, and I hope that you will be more patient, with the development team, because this game is gonna be here for long, right? We want this game to be successful in the long run. So during this period of time, we do need to, show our support and give constructive feedback. It's okay to criticize, what you think is not working well for you in terms of the early access program, but I think that everyone should try to come from a constructive angle. Okay, so you can say like, I think that this is bad, we could have done something like this so that things can be better, right? So if you phrase your criticism in such a way, you will actually help the development team appreciate the angle that you're coming from, and maybe it will give them a hint as to how they can address your feedback and criticism. Alright, so that's everything I have to say for the Ez2ON Reboots R game client and early access. So as for myself, I've done some work on the kind of content that people like to watch on my stream. So what's going to happen from today onwards is this. The live gaming stream will only be available on Twitch. So if you want to join me, chit chat with me while I'm playing the game, you can follow. You can come on to Twitch, and it'll be better. So all the long running videos will no longer be on YouTube. However, on YouTube the content is much more curated, right? There'll be all the gaming news update that I post as and when I'm available, right? I'm probably going to bring back the Sending You Home series with specifically Ez2ON Reboots R, and maybe I will play a bit of DJ Mass Respect too, right? So all the Sending You Home series that last about 1 hour, I will place them on YouTube also. Last but not least, chart single song gameplay. So if I manage to get a nice high score, I've done my personal best, or there's a specific song that I want to practice on, I will record the gameplay so that I can review them on YouTube. Like I wanted to understand how a specific part of the song can be executed to get a higher score, for example. So that is probably going to be useful for people who are playing 4 key, 6 key and 8 key, so that they can take a look at the chart in slow-mo to try to understand at least you can see how I press the buttons as compared to how other players press the button. So that is what's gonna happen for the rest of the stream, my stream, starting today. So enough said about news updates. So I hope you guys stay safe, and gonna stop recording and head over to the gameplay. So let me know in the comments, or if you're on Twitch, right, head over to the Twitch chat and let me know your feedback or your input as to the news update, right? If you want to revisit the content that I have talked about just now, you can just follow the link on the screen below, right? There's a URL. Once you hit the URL, you'll be able to see this GitHub page where I archive all the news that I've consolidated. So without further ado, let's head over to the gameplay, shall we?